Hi there, I'm Jennifer Simmons with AIM. Welcome to our video recap of the second week of the 2023 legislative session. Jenna Bentley, AIM's Government Affairs Director, is joining us today. Jenna, I'm a recovering lobbyist, so this is an informed question. How are you surviving? Are you feeling the adrenaline of session yet in week 2?
Absolutely. I mean, between the file list after file list and bills getting scheduled at a rapid pace. So I'll go home usually after session, take a little bit of a nap and recover and get back to the emails and the updates for AIM members on what's going on at the State House. So naps
Yeah,
are
I
key
feel
right
like
now.
it's every session, I feel like we kind of say the same things. It's rare, not especially in a long session for some reason. I think it's rare for people not to say, oh my gosh, we started so fast. Like they started and they just took off running. Like, I don't think we're used to it yet, but that is really how it usually works. Like it sneaks
Yeah.
up on you, happens at generally the same time every year, but the intensity of it really does sneak up on you
You're
sometimes.
exactly right. Like you go into session knowing like it's
Mhm.
going to be quick and fast at the start. And there's going to be bills that come out of left field that you didn't have any conversations about this summer or fall. And so it's just taking a deep breath and remembering that this is a long process for a bill to become a law. So that has been my saving grace over the last 2 weeks.
Yep, for sure. Well, today's written legislative summary does capture 5 topics and related bills that you and your team are covering. But so let's try to cover some things that aren't in there. Let's start with a public safety budget issue that could have a significant impact on communities above 10,000, and how they manage their police and fire departments. Can you offer a few details on this one?
Yeah, as a reminder, so I think we talked about it or highlighted it last week, but House Bill 1061 is the bill that deals with police and fire merit systems. So in current law, it's a choice for the local unit of government to opt into having a merit system. So AIM didn't take the position whether or not a merit system is the good thing or the right thing for the municipality to do. But what this bill does is it makes it an automatic opt-in to the merit system. So after the bill passes, I think it impacts 30 or so of our communities will automatically be opted into a merit system. And in order to opt out, you need both the local governing body and the public safety group, a majority of the public safety group to support that.
Mhm.
So it really twists the process on its head. And that's why AIM, stood up in committee and testified on the bill. It ultimately did pass out of committee on the House side. So we'll continue to monitor that and update those impacted communities.
Yeah, it can be frustrating because I think when people think of municipal government and like the first thing is making the trains run on time, right? Public safety, roads and streets, sanitation, utilities. Like those are the core services, right? And then you can get to placemaking and all these other things, but those core services are important. So I feel like when the General Assembly is going to do something that significantly impacts a core service, it would really be great to be on the same page because it's so important, right? We serve the same constituents. So we need to be on the same page about how we apply public safety.
Yeah,
But
and
just a side note.
yeah, so much of the conversation in the committee was about the merits of a merit system, which
Mhm.
again, I think is a decision that needs to be hashed out locally with all of the leaders in the room. And so again, not saying that's good or bad, but saying, there's a reason communities have the process the way
Sure.
they do. So we would again love to have more say in that bill as it moves along.
Yeah, that makes sense. So last week, you and our CEO, Matt Greller, gave us a pretty good rundown on what we're hearing regarding residential property taxes, business personal property tax. But now that, actual bills are being filed and dropping and things are going from talk to actual language. And, there are more substantive conversations on these topics just in the last week. So what are those latest developments on this?
Yeah, so if anyone were to open up the bill list on the Indiana General Assembly's website, they'd see 20 or so bills impacting residential property taxes. But the one I think we need to really start focusing on is House Bill 1499. I had a meeting with the author of that bill is Jeff Thompson, who chairs House Ways and Means. And I think this is going to be the framework for the residential property tax conversation on the House side. And what this does, AIM members are really familiar with that 1% cap on residential property taxes. This bill would lower that to 0.9% for year 2024, which for cities and towns, we're talking about a $92 million hit in revenue. And then over the course of the next 3 years, they would phase that back up to the 1% cap. But in 2025, that's about a $70 million hit, 2026, almost $50 million hit. And then in 2027, a $34 million hit. And that's just for cities and towns. And so this is not backed by any state dollars. This would just be a hit to our general revenues, our local units general revenues. So I talked to Chairman Thompson about, why 4 years, and their fear is that if they only have relief for 1 year, the pendulum swings back up and you're addressing the same problem again with dramatic increases in your property tax bill. So he didn't say that this is the final form of the bill that's going to pass, but we do know this is going to be the framework we're working on, at least in the House side, that it's going to be the tax liability side, no changes to assessments. So if anyone's interested in that conversation, I'd certainly check out House Bill 1499, and the fiscal has a county by county breakdown. We're working with the Ways and Means staff to see if we can see the breakdown by municipality, because I think that would be particularly helpful for those of us representing cities and towns.
Sure. So then you layer on top of that the business personal property tax conversation, which is not going away. We had a lot of discussion on that last session. We've had a lot of discussion on that over the last 10 years or so, but it is not abating. We are still struggling to convince lawmakers that this little bit of a tax shift, right? It can be, if not done properly, and it's a significant budget impact on cities and towns. What's going on with the business personal property tax?
Yeah, this was another topic I brought up while meeting with Chairman Thompson, and particularly on the House side, they're still committed to some type of business personal property tax change. There's been a few bills filed, one from Representative Mayfield, one from Representative Zach Payne, but Chairman Thompson didn't commit to either one of those being what moves. But when I asked him about business personal property tax, he did indicate, it's still front of mind for the House Republican caucus. And, I did talk about the tax shift with him. So if on one hand, we're talking about those residential property taxes, eliminating a business tax or a portion of that tax is going to shift the burden over to residential. So you're trying to solve a problem that one piece of legislation could also make worse, essentially.
Right.
So unfortunately, he didn't share the details on what direction they'll go. But because it's just been quieter this session, we definitely want to raise the alarms for AIM members and those who operate municipal budgets, that there's still chatter among leadership about the business personal property tax.
So Jenna, I bet if you go back through the archive of these video updates that we've done for the last several years, you'd find that we have talked about TIF in some form for at least 60% of those videos, and probably more. This session's no different. While we're seeing some progress in terms of residential TIF, which is exciting, there's still some bills that are being debated that could seriously impact one of the most critical tools we have for economic development for cities and towns. So share the latest on TIF and really some of those things we're watching that we're pretty concerned about.
Yeah, there was a bill on a file list that got released this week, House Bill 1439. It's authored by Representative Doug Miller, who chairs the Government and Regulatory Reform Committee. What this bill would do is require city council approval of all city RDC expenditures. And so for us, as we think about economic development on behalf of cities and towns, this just caught our eyes, obviously can slow down the process for any economic development deals. And so I talked to Chairman Miller about this this week, and he indicated, he's filed this bill in the past. He's filed a lot of bills this session, This isn't one that he feels strongly about, but it is assigned to House Local Government. There's a new chairman of House Local Government, Chris May, that I think we've talked about on this video last week. And I know, just generally speaking, in conversations with him, he would like RDCs to have more oversight. So while Chairman Miller may not be pushing this as much, we do have a chairman in House Local Government who has indicated he has an interest in this topic. So definitely wanted to flag that since it was new to the bill list this week. And then House Bill 1085 is kind of an iteration of a concept we've seen multiple sessions in a row, which would require automatic pass through to schools. In 1085, it's 20% of TIF AV to schools. This has been a priority of Representative Cherry, who represents the Hancock County area for a while. And Chairman Thompson, who I mentioned before, is the chair of Ways and Means, has even been a co-sponsor, co-author of this concept in the past. So I asked him about this specific bill, since it is assigned to Ways and Means, and he didn't indicate whether they're going to hear it, but just echoed again his overall thoughts on TIF, that he believes TIF dollars aren't always spent with their original purpose. And so he wanted to keep schools in mind with this bill. So we'll certainly keep tracking this bill. And if it does get scheduled for a hearing, that's certainly one we'll include in legislative summary and outreach to AIM members on.
Yeah, I'm going to have trouble like restraining my opinion here. I'll just share that, last year it was so exciting to watch the Innovation Development District bill move through the House and Senate and become law for projects like the Lilly investment near Lebanon, or in the new annexed area of Lebanon, where I felt like state leaders were really understanding how beneficial TIF could be to these projects. And let's face it, the majority of economic development, the vast majority of economic developments development projects don't come near that level of investment. They're not $2 billion investments, but they're significant for the cities and towns that they're in. And, then sort of turning around this year and putting some restrictions that are so excessive on TIF, just it's just counterintuitive to the discussion, or counterproductive to the discussion and progress we made last year. So
you're exactly right. And last year we heard, like I said, a lot about the speed of the deal and RDCs needing to move quickly for those big deals. But those smaller deals make transformational impacts on our cities and towns as well. So just want to, we'll keep that in mind as we talk to legislators.
It's early. I get it. I don't want to be me the Debbie Downer. I just it's just something that really struck me. So it's just a complete opposite direction of where we were headed last year, where we got last year. All right. So last bill for today, AIMS initiative relative to outdoor refreshment areas. So it may sound like a stretch to some, but to me, this bill is a placemaking bill. I think that analogy will make more sense after you talk about it for a little bit. But what is a designated outdoor refreshment area, and why are we supporting and pushing this legislation?
Honestly, this is a kind of a ground up initiative. AIM members have reached out in droves about support for this concept, because as we think about quality of place, we think about quality of events and bringing people together in communities. So what this bill would simply allow is a community to decide if they want to designate an area as an outdoor refreshment area. So under current law, if you're going to have alcohol at an event, it needs to be a separate area, fenced off, and not a part of kind of the main activities. And so this bill would allow you to designate an area where you could get your one drink. You have a wristband identifying those over 21, and they could go participate in the other parts of the fairs or festivals going on in communities. And so the really good news on this bill is Chairman Manning, who chairs public policy, indicated to me this week that he's likely to hear this bill on Tuesday. It hasn't officially been scheduled, but he did tell me that twice. And so this is a big step in the right direction legislatively, because there is a similar language that would pass out of the Senate each of the last 3 sessions, I think, but it would stop in the House. So the fact that the House is considering taking action is really great, because as you said, this is a quality of place type bill that so many of our mayors, town council leaders, city council leaders have reached out about as they consider what events to schedule in their communities.
Yeah, and I think, it gets labeled in the alcohol bill, which I get that, right? I get that, but just think of when you're going to a festival, even with your family, and you want to have a beer, or your friends that you're with want to, and they have to leave that activity to go to like beer jail over here inside the area and then come back, and it's just not convenient, and it just affects the experience, right? Like, it's not about going and drinking to excess. It's about the experience, and that is what we have to sell when we're trying to convince talent to move, right? We don't have mountains, we don't have an ocean, we have a place. And I think that this is just one small piece really in trying to create an environment that gives people the experience they want. So.
You're exactly right.
All right, so I'm on my soapbox on a lot of stuff today. Here we go.
Love it. Come on over to the State House.
No,
Brush off the lobby.
Recovering lobby.
Okay.
All right. Before we go, I was looking at some of your notes that you've been sending around for next week, just kind of what's going to be happening at the State House in the week to come and getting everyone on the team prepared. It's going to be insane. So what's on the docket, just real quick?
Yeah, I'd say even just looking specifically at next Tuesday, I'm calling it AIM Initiative Local Government Day. There's a lot of good bills being heard. Both residential TIF bills are scheduled. House Bill 1081 is scheduled for House Local Government Tuesday morning at 8:30, and then Senate Bill 300, the other residential TIF bill, is scheduled for Tax and Fiscal at 10 a.m. Also on Tuesday, in Tax and Fiscal, they're hearing Senate Bill 349, which deals with pancake TIFs and allowing pancake TIFs when a municipality annexes, which is a really good provision that we'll likely support. And then in Govern regulatory reform, they're going to hear the big housing revolving loan fund bill that we've worked with Chairman Miller on over the summer with the Housing Task Force. And then another bill I wanted to flag we didn't talk about is House Bill 1167, which deals with archiving public meetings. That's going to be heard on Tuesday. And so we're talking to Representative Smaltz, the author of that bill, today. So that's just one day next week where we have kind of the final schedule.
One day. That was one day.
In public policy hasn't even been officially scheduled, but if that is, that will be Tuesday as well. So we're talking 6 or 7 bills, some good, some we would like to work on for Tuesday.
Sounds good. Well, good luck, Jenna. Let's wrap it up there. I do want to note that the AIM Legislative Dinner is on March 8th in Indianapolis at the Westin. You can find information on the AIM website at aimindiana.org. And don't forget to check out the bill tracking list in Legislative Summary for a complete list of bills that have already been filed that we have put on our radar. Take care, and we'll see you next week.